We interrupt this program to bring you a Channel 5 special report on the global warming crisis. With lead anchor Clay Carter, meteorologist Eric Ross, sportscaster Will Davis, Appalachian correspondent Barry Nolan, and economic expert Nathan Dorter.
We return to your regularly scheduled program, Survivor 112, Life on Mars, in a brief moment. But first, we must take time to talk about important subject matter. Because as of now, the people on Mars are much safer than we are here on Earth. We are experiencing a stock market failure. A ginormous hurricane is ravaging off the coast of the United States. There's worldwide spread of disease. There's also melting of glaciers in our polar regions. All of these in which are due to the selfishness of the people in the early 21st century. We have clips of the awareness of this problem, but nobody seemed to care, let alone do anything about it. But we, the people of 2100, are having to deal with it. Roll the film.
Global warming, or none like it hot. Meet Mr. Sunbeam. He comes all the way from the sun to visit Earth.
Hello, Earth. Just popping in to brighten your day. La 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 la. And now I'll be on my way.
Not so fast, Sunbeam. We're greenhouse gases. You ain't going nowhere.
Oh! Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Oh, God, it hurts!
Pretty soon, Earth is chock full of sunbeams. They're rotting corpses heating our atmosphere.
Let's first look at a brief history of global warming. 1769. Atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide are about 280 parts per million. 1890s. Atmospheric level of carbon dioxide are about 290 parts per million. In the 1890s to 1940s, average surface air temperature increased by 1/4 degree Celsius. 1928, CFCs were invented. 1959, atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide are 315 parts per million. 1979, atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide are 337 parts per million. 1990, the first report that the planet has been warmed by 0.5 degrees Celsius in the past century. In 1995, the Larsen A ice shelf in Antarctica collapses. 2000, atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide are about 369 parts per million. 2003, the levels of carbon dioxide are about 375 parts per million. 2030, polar bears become extinct. There are now only white bears that live in the polar regions. 2079, Cuba was destroyed by a Category 5 hurricane. 2094, Australia is no longer livable due to the enormous hole in the ozone over top of it. Now let's look at a couple causes of global warming. The largest contribution to global warming is pollution from power plants. Approximately 40% of all carbon dioxide emissions come from these plants. A close second is pollution from cars. With nearly 3 billion cars on the roads every day, each car emits carbon, which does nothing more but increase the rate of the ongoing problem that we are still continue to face. To show a little more in-depth detail about the problems we're facing, let's send it over to Eric in our weather room.
Thanks, Clay. Now, as you can see from these satellite images behind me, Hurricane Barack is currently ravaging the U.S. I'm going to use our in-studio teleportation device to go on-site with the hurricane. I'll see you there. Wow, this storm is really raging behind me, but thanks to our protective dome, I'll be safe from the hurricane. Now, since around 130 years ago, in the 1970s, the severity of hurricanes in general has been increasing. This is due to a gradual increase in the water temperature of the ocean. It not only lengthens the season, but also increases the severity of the hurricanes themselves.
In just 30 years, from 1970 to 2000, the parts per million level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere rose from 325 to 380. You may be wondering how this is related to hurricanes, but if you look at the percent of them that reached Category 4 or 5 in the 1970s, around 20, compared to the 1990s, around 33, there appears to be a substantial correlation. This 13% increase may not seem like a great deal, and it's that very conceptual error that got us into this mess in 2100. Because it wasn't a very fast change, no one worried about it or considered it to be a big problem. But boy, were they wrong. 2004 was the year with the first hurricane ever recorded in the South Atlantic. On March 26, Hurricane Catarina made landfall 500 miles south of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Also, $100 billion estimated dollars of damage was caused by hurricanes hitting the U.S. coast in 2005 alone.
And that concludes my report on the hurricanes being affected by this global warming. Back to you in the studio, Clay. Oh, the dome's breaking! The dome's breaking!
Somebody check and see if he's okay, Eric. I'm worried about him. Now, let's send it to Will in Mount Kilimanjaro.
Hey guys, I'm here in Africa, here at Mount Kilimanjaro, and as you can see, glaciers are melting. As you can see up on the screen, there was a big difference between this mountain, what it looked like in 1970, and then this picture, what it looks like in 2000, and even most recently, this picture here. As you can tell, there's a dramatic difference in the mountain in Nepal. Situations like this are happening everywhere. This is the Rhone Glacier in Switzerland. Here's a picture of the Amelio Mandarin Glacier in Italy. Every 100 years, the temperature is supposed to increase by 0.5 degrees Celsius. That may not sound like a lot to you, but that means 6 to 8 inches rise in the sea level. Here's an image of the Arctic from out of space. As you can see, there's quite a difference in what it was in 1979 and an image taken in 2003. Think about our sweet little polar bears that are in the Arctic. They are going extinct because they have no glaciers to grab onto. They're swimming as much as 60 miles to find land. Experts are saying the melting of the Arctic tundra can release greenhouse gases such as methane. Methane is a gas that amplifies the climate change. I think I can hear glaciers melting now, right now.
I've seen Will swim before. He's fine. Now let's shoot it over to Barry in the Daniel Boone National Forest in Moorhead, Kentucky.
Hey y'all, this here's Barrett Nolan reporting live on location here in Moorhead, Kentucky to show y'all how bad this skeeter problem down here is getting and the viruses they carry along with it. I'm trying to fend off these blood-sucking insects to show y'all just how bad global warming and its effects are. I'm going to talk about 3 diseases today, like West Nile virus, bird flu, and cholera. If we don't do something about global warming and slow its effects, then these diseases are going to continue to spread all around the globe, and it's going to be horrible. Well, now that I've introduced y'all to the topic, let's move on to the heart of the discussion. Now let's first look at the effects global warming has on West Nile virus. Mosquitoes can live in higher elevations now due to the minuscule increases in average temperature that have occurred due to global warming. Also, mosquitoes are forced to now prey on humans when their normal targets of birds have fled urban areas during extreme heat wave caused by global warming. Higher temperatures also trigger a higher biting frequency among these little skeeters. So, this is a bad issue and needs to be taken care of. Now, let's take a look at how global warming affects bird flu. According to a United Nations survey, global warming is contributing to an increased loss of wetlands around the world. This causes disease-carrying migrating birds, which ordinarily make stops at wetlands to land on animal farms. This increases the chance of these birds interacting with domestic poultry, risking the spread of disease via animal-to-animal contact and human-to-human contact. According to Earth Talk, more than 2/3 of waterborne disease outbreaks, such as cholera, follow major precipitation events, which are in fact increasing due to global warming. So these waterborne diseases, such as cholera, in fact, are also increasing. Now, global warming has caused or will increase cases of malaria, dengue fever, diphtheria yellow fever, respiratory diseases, and the diseases I previously mentioned all across the globe. Now, we must stand up and take corrective action on a local and national level to slow the effects of global warming for our children and the generations to come. Now, sending on back over to Clay in the studio, y'all. Yippee!
Yippee indeed. Now we're going to take it to Nathan that's going to look a little closer at our economic problem.
Hi, I'm Nathan Daughter. I'm here on site at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm wanting to talk to you a little bit about the economics of global warming. The meltdown of the stock market obviously has many causes, but surprisingly global warming is a big player among them. Global warming alone is costing the economy billions of dollars each year. According to a 2008 study by Ernst & Young, the climate is the #1 strategic risk currently facing the insurance industry, potentially more dangerous than the unstable securities markets. In addition, the hurricanes and other severe weather have cost insurers $243 billion from 1998 to 2008. Catastrophic losses in 2008 alone reached $25 billion, and scientists expect global warming to trigger more violent storms in the future. Society faces mounting physical risk, and businesses face grave financial risk if they fail to adapt to changing policy climate because of rapidly changing physical climate. Global warming, if not reversed, will consume our national resources and threaten the well-being of future generations and will continue to hurt our economy. The world's financial and global warming energy crisis are connected because credit and fossil fuels are forms of leverage. Oil, coal, and natural gas are multipliers of labor in much the same way that credit is a multiplier of wealth. The challenge we face is nothing short of transforming our economy from a high carbon model, which is putting both our economy and planet at risk, to a low carbon model that can create new markets and a healthier environment. Now let's send it back to Clay.
I've just received a note that we have archival footage from historical celebrities that were trying to stop global warming in its infancy.
Hello, I'm Al Gore. As you may know, global warming has become a big problem. But there are things that you can do every day to help stop it. Just like at home, you can use these fluorescent light bulbs. They use less than 25% of the regular bulbs.
This bulb will help reverse the effects of global warming, better the lives of people and animals everywhere. Not to mention reduce your electric bill substantially over time. Oh yeah, and it'll light your house too.
If everyone in America replaced just one light bulb in their house with this little guy,
it would be like taking 1 million cars off the road over the course of a year. This bulb will prevent 1,000 pounds.
1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds of carbon dioxide greenhouse emissions from being put into the atmosphere.
How many light bulbs does it take to make a difference?
One. This bulb will help save dogs, cats,
water buffalo, the redwood forest, polar bears.
This light bulb will help save monkeys.
My fish.
my baby,
the country,
my grandmother,
my children,
and you.
This bulb
can help save the planet.
I'm Christian Bell. I just wanted to drop in and talk to you about global warming and what you can do about it. You must keep your tires inflated on your Batmobile to burn less gasoline. And you also must install solar panels on your house to use less energy. To the Batmobile!
One of the ways you can help save the planet is by turning your thermostat down 1 degree. Just 1. Okay, that's fine. And if we did that, we could make a massive difference. It's just, well, it's kind of dull. So to make it a little more exciting, I like to imagine I'm defusing a nuclear bomb. God, I just made it. I just saved the city. It's cool, huh?
Sup? This is Jack Black, bringing you a few more easy things that you can do to help stop global warming. One thing you can do is just plug everything into one power supply. I mean, it's so easy. Like, skadoosh, you got everything plugged in, you can turn it off when you're done, so it doesn't waste energy when you're not using them. Bam. One more thing that you can do is just put caulking on all your windows and doors, fill up the cracks, fill up the crickety cracks, so you're not wasting any more heat, and therefore not wasting any more energy, and helping to stop global warming.
I love apples. This is an apple grown a few miles from here, and this is an apple from across the world, 3,000 miles away, flown in on a big, environmentally nasty aircraft. This one, is delicious. And this one leaves a funny taste in my mouth. Buy local if you can.
Also, if you really want to make a difference, vote Democrat.
Coffee break. Best time of the day. Best time of the day.
I guess the portal returned me to my original place of origin. Oh, hey Clay.
Eric, you're okay. Scotch?
No, I try to not drink at work. Thanks. You know, I just don't get it. People knew so much about this topic already. There were so many people living green and doing stuff to help the environment. What happened, man?
All the celebrities said to do stuff, but nobody did anything on a larger scale.
What are you talking about? There was a whole town that was based upon being rebuilt as a green city. It was destroyed, and then Leonardo DiCaprio got involved, and you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? Okay, look, I have a clip of it on my phone. Hang on a second.
The storm that destroyed the town of Greensburg, Kansas, missed us by about 2 miles. Specific to Greensburg, about 95% of the infrastructure of the buildings were destroyed or damaged. In the county, it was a multi-county area. I mean, that storm track that night was 85 miles. We all try to make sense of tragedy, and you have a whole community that was trying to make sense of this tragedy and kind of redeem it. And they have found that being models and leaders in the sustainability movement is a way to do that. I can't tell you how many people I talked to early on who said, I'm not a tree hugger. I mean, that was like their impulsive response, immediate response. And it was like, well, yeah, I understand that, and you're not going to be pegged with that. This is about clean air and clean water and energy independence. One of the ways the movement, as it were, in Greensburg got rooted so quickly was helping people understand that they were already part of the movement. These are people that, especially their ancestors, built with solar orientation in mind. They farm, they ranch, called them the original recyclers, are farmers and ranchers. They don't waste. It's not in their nature. That's what so much of this is common sense. And it's really coming back to that for a lot of people. And you know, why import energy when you've got abundant solar and wind resources? You know, early on we had a vision of Greensburg being this model. And in our most ambitious moments, thinking of it being a model at a global level. And oftentimes even I thought that was ridiculous. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere. But the reality is it's happening.
Now you have seen the problems we are facing with the economy, weather, spread of disease, and the melting glaciers, you can tell we have a serious problem here, folks, and this should have been taken care of a long time ago. With every passing day, we worry more and more if there will ever be tomorrow. Until next time, good night and good luck.
I would just like to say that Will, Eric, Nathan, Clay, and Barry make a lot better movie than My Inconvenient Truth. And they are doing their part to make a difference in this world. So why can't you?